We got these boxes in the way. Did you? We gotta move these boxes. Welcome to the play space. These boxes are filled with hoops games. I don't know if you can see that. We've been very busy building Highlight Maker Hoops Prime Time. Sam, can you move these boxes off the table?
Yeah, I can move the boxes. Oh boy, here we go. These are all filled. Every single one of these is.
Yep, we've built quite a few of these over the last week, but we are now done. Thank goodness. And
there's more where that came from.
Yeah, and we're ready for a little break. Actually, to be honest with you, a little bit of something a little lighter, a little more casual. That's what tonight's show is all about. Purely for fun. We're going to talk about our Now Sports series. We call these alt sports on the game boxes, as in alternative sports. They're not real sports, but they're designed to play like they're real sports. We have Fury Football, which is kind of a condensed version of football on a smaller field with condensed action that happens very quickly and dramatically. We have Fury Hardball, which is much the same, kind of a mashup of cricket and wiffle ball and baseball, played in a small field. And honestly, we have a lot of fun ideas for other alt sports. You may remember our Global Gladiator Games download that we offered a couple years ago, kind of based on decathlon. We have a number of these ideas just kicking around in my head, and every once in a while I put them down on paper, and they're fun to play. We'll at some point maybe release some of them, but tonight it's really more about just getting some stuff out on the table so you can take a look, and also to provide some input. We'll talk about a couple of ideas. We'll maybe play out a couple of test games and let you see how they work, and then you can give us your input. It should be a fairly quick stream tonight, and both of the new alt sport ideas we're going to show you are very unfinished games, very much in the idea stage. So again, we'll welcome your opinion. Don't expect to see finished games here tonight, just kind of ideas. Let's start though, rather than looking at a new alt sport idea. Let's start with a quick look at Fury Hardball. First of all, thanks to everybody in Milwaukee who showed up and played Fury Hardball in our tournament. Congratulations to Dave Heller, who won our tournament, defeated Travis Jansen. Dave had the Baltimore Fury Hardball team, and Travis had the San Diego Fury Hardball team. It was a fun series, and congrats to Dave. We used our new head-to-head Fury Hardball cards. This is what they look like. We've showed these before. It's a pitch deck where you get 4 of these to choose. You have 4 pitches to choose from for any given batter, and you simply choose one. The batter announces a swing, and boom, there's your result right there. There's very little die rolling required for it. It makes the game play much faster, and also really adds quite a bit of a strategy element to it, because you really are controlling what the other guy's going to do based on the pitches that you select. We will be, yes, shortly. In fact, let's go ahead and go to the game table right now.
I don't know if you want to show the cards on the game table.
Well, I will. All right, yeah. We've showed the. Go ahead and go to the game table. Here's what the cards look like. The red bordered cards are heat pitches. The blue bordered cards are stuff pitches. The junk pitches have a black border, and they're all named. There's the garbage throw, down the pipe, the big heater, the cutter. There's a rising curveball, and each of them have results printed on the card. And we're gonna make this available. Really, the tournament went very well. I think everybody played really agreed that it was a great addition to the head-to-head aspect. Now, for solitaire play, I think you're going to probably not want to use these because they don't work as well for solitaire play. And the current solitaire system works great. And I know a lot of people watching this probably play their sports game solitaire. So that's cool. It works great, fine, as is solitaire. But when you're playing against somebody, these really amp up the action and work really well. So we're going to make these available at some point here relatively soon. We want to get hoops out of the way first. We do have, I think if you go to the website, you'll notice that Fury Hardball and the Fury Hardball mats are both out of stock or listed as coming soon. And they both indeed are coming soon. And when they do come back, we'll introduce these pitch decks as well. And probably something else of a surprise thing. But back to the Fury Hardball Sports. So Al and I have been talking. Al Wilson and I have been talking about Fury Hardball. Al, of course, has a new website, 3D6 Gaming, which does has game stuff, but also has 3D game print stuff, and it's kind of in a partnership with us. And Al's going to make or wants to make a Fury Hardball 3D field. Which you could use for your games. And so we began to talk, well, what exactly does a Fury Hardball field look like? And I think this diagram here, which I believe should be on camera, this is kind of what I think. First of all, it's never really fleshed out exactly what it's supposed to look like. The game materials, I don't have the game materials with me, but I don't know that we really need to show them. But they don't really show the diagram of the field. They show the batter area and they show the pitching area and where the fielders stand, but they don't really have a diagram of the field. So we got to talking, what exactly should it look like for Al's 3D field? And I think this is kind of the way I envisioned it loosely. So you got the slinger is here. Here's the home plate. This is the zinger target. Where if you hit this, it's a zinger. You get two bases: the safe base and the bonus base. And the idea is you can just take the safe base, or you can run to the bonus base, where you could be pegged out. Hit by the pitcher, tagged by the slinger. Now, the idea is that, in my head, it wouldn't be set as to which was the bonus. The batting team would choose which is the bonus base based on which is the slinger's blind side. So the slinger, in order to have a view of what the bonus base looks like, where the runner is, the slinger would have to have his back to him. So it could either of these could be the bonus base based on which arm the pitcher is throwing with. So that's kind of the way we kind of thought it would look. But there are some issues with it in terms of how would that play out in real life. And as Al pointed out, we like to have a strong narrative, so the game has to make sense. Anyway, combined with that, I did had AI generate what a Fury Hardball field should look like, and this is the image that it came up with. Here's the dinger area. You hit it up here, it's a dinger. Here's where the fans sit. This is the playable area, and this is the dead zone here. And you notice there's the mound here, so that the pitcher or the slinger is standing in front of the playable area, and there's a line that goes down this way. Now, this is nothing's etched in stone here, but this is kind of what we're working with. And if you'll notice on our pitch deck, this is the field that we use. This is the image that we use as representing the batter's view from the slinger mound. So just to kind of go over the rules. So the idea is the slinger throws from here. The batter takes a swing. If he hits it, off this wall anywhere up here, that's a dinger. If he hits it into this dirt area, that's an out, an automatic out. If a fielder runs from here into this dirt area and catches the ball like a pop out, that's a stinger. That's like a double play. All right. For the and there's no doubles or triples. There's only singles, which we call pingers in Fury Hardball. And that the idea is to hit a pinger, you're going to hit it into this grassy area. It's not going to be caught by a fielder, and then the fielder can make the putout by throwing the ball back to the pitcher. So if the slinger catches the ball before the batter reaches, if he's going for the bonus base, before the batter reaches the grassy area, then it would be an out. If the batter reaches the grassy area first, then it's a bonus base. So we're calling this big grassy area. The whole thing is like a base. It's just depending on whether you're going to try for it or not. So the idea is, if you don't want to run, you can just you hit the ball. It's not caught. It just drops onto the grass. You don't have to run. You can just like raise your hand and you get the safe base. It's a pinger. If you want to try to get the bonus base, that's where you've got to make the dash to the grass, and you've got to get there before the slinger gets the ball in his hand from the fielder. That's the way the game is supposed to work visually. So in that regard, this is the diagram that I think we've come up with as a actual Fury Hardball field, which, as you can see, matches up pretty well with this illustration. The slinger throws from here. The batter is here. Here are the dead zones. Again, this is the playable hit area into here. And the whole thing is, there's no physical base. This whole thing is a base. Now, what happens after you get a pinger? And let's say you're on the bonus base and you want to try to run. Or let's say you took the safe base and you just walk there, but you want to try to steal home. So the idea is, and this is what Al and I have been discussing, what would that look like? And what we've come up with is so that you can position yourself anywhere on this grassy area is the base. As a runner, you're going to take off to get to home plate before the slinger goes into his windup. If he does, then if he hasn't gone into his windup, he can try to tag you or throw the ball at you and get you out. That's where the out happens. If he goes into his windup and you're already gone, though, then he can take the shot at you somehow or try to salvage it. However, once he goes into his windup, you can't leave the grassy area. Then you'd be automatically out. So if the slinger is standing there and you're standing, and the base runner is standing here, and the slinger goes into his windup and you're still here, you cannot now start to run. That would be an automatic out. Also, what happens to the batter? If the guy's running, then it's like it's basically just like stealing home in real baseball. And if the runner takes off after the slinger has gone into his windup, then that's an automatic out. And again, the batter just kind of stands there and will continue to be at bat. So that's the thought process behind this, and I think it's pretty solid. And any input is welcome. So that is our Fury Hardball segment. That we're not going to actually play Fury Hardball. We're just going to try to visualize, add a little visualization to what does this game look like. So again, comments are welcome. Let's look at this new game that I'm working on, or I shouldn't say I'm working on it. I actually came up with this idea in my airport time on my trip to Milwaukee. I shouldn't say I came up with the idea. The idea has been kicking around in my head for a while. About a sports game that has more than two teams playing at the same time. What if you had a game where you had three teams competing at the same time? And this is what I was referring to last year, and I said, I don't even know this is going to work. And indeed, it may not. I don't know. We'll take a look. I'll show you what I got here. So we call this triple ball. It's three teams. And, of course, we are really riffing on the whole triangle theme here. So this is the way it will. These boards are pretty rudimentary, but you'll get the idea. You'd overlay them like this.
You can scoot it down a little bit.
All right, like that.
Yeah, maybe even a little more.
I can't go too much further.
That's
well,
good.
I maybe a little bit further.
That's good.
Is it good?
That's fine.
All right. So this is the court. It's a court, and there's obviously three people on a team. And you got three teams of three. And I got them color coded. So how do I describe this? So the idea is you can score. You first of all decide how many people you want to deploy in your zone. Let's go ahead and put the yellow team here. Let's say the yellow team wants to put two people in its zone, and there are three different qualities: smart, skill, and spark, and they can go as high as triple. You can have triple spark. You can have double spark. There's no semi qualities here. I figured let's not mess with the decide or die for this test game. So here are the three players for the yellow team. We'll put the red team over here. And they're obvious. The red team is superior, or they're a pretty good team. The yellow team is, I think, is like the worst team. And each team has a reserve. We'll put him in here, and they got a pretty good guy here in defense. So they'll go with two here in the scoring zone. So because this is where the ball comes into play. If you control it here, then you can score. This is where you're trying to keep the other team from scoring. And let's do the blue team here. We'll put Boswell. We'll put James, and we'll also put one. Let's put James as their defender because he's got each of the qualities. We'll put Frank in here. All right, so this is our setup here, and I use D4s to play this. Actually, right now you only need one D4, but I'm thinking of a way to incorporate a second one somehow by. So it's actually very, very basic at this point. So the idea is you're going to have a jump ball in the center court area, whether it shoots out of a cannon or drops from the ceiling. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work, but somehow the ball comes into play, and then you scramble for it. And we roll this. We roll the D4, and that's going to tell us the quality that we're going to check. It's very similar to like an ice blast or a build-up in Soccer Blast, where so the one refers to spark, one is smart, two is spark, three is skill, and if a four comes up, then the trailing team, the team that has the least of the quality, will win the will win the possession of the ball. I'm debating whether it should be the team with the least amount of quality, or rather the team that's trailing in the game. Either way, there's have to be ties that have to be broken. So Brandon will just play with the team that has the least amount of the qualities, and then that team, which controls, can then has the option of scoring. And there are two ways they can score. They can launch, which is to throw the ball into this is like a net here or a goal at the back corner here. Or they can lunge, which means they got to run their way into there, and somehow they're stripped of the ball or stopped by the guy who's in there can stop them. If you launch it, then it's just a matter of rolling the D4, and however many players are in the zone guarding it, if you roll that number, it's a miss. So in other words, if there's one guy in here, if you roll a 1, it's a miss. If you roll a 2, 3, or a 4, you're going to hit it. And I'm saying right now it's a 3-point goal from there. Actually, I think I decided that based on the percentage that it would be a 4-point goal from there. Now, if you want to lunge, you can run in, and then you're going to do basically the same thing, except you're going to check qualities. So you're going to check the qualities of the players on the team that has the ball versus the qualities of the player who's guarding. So if you got one guy in here and two guys here, you're probably not going to win that lunge. You're probably better off throwing it. If you got 2 against 1, though, maybe you do want to try to run it in. And in that case, then again, you do a 1, 2, or 3 based on the quality. So 1 is smart, 2 is spark, 3 is skill. And if you roll a 4, a defender automatically stops. So even if you've only got one guy in there, he's always going to have at least a 1 out of 4 chance of stopping you, even if you have a quality advantage on every quality. So that's how the scoring works. So 6 points for a lunge, 4 points for a throw, and maybe 7. I don't know. Maybe 7 points is better. I think a throw has to be a little bit more than twice, or a little bit more than half of a lunge. So we'll go with 4 and 7 for this little test sequence. Now, the other twist is that the team you score against also loses a point. And I'm also thinking they may lose 2 points. Again, the scoring is up in the air. So if the blue team scores against the red team, the blue let's say they throw it in there. They're going to get 4 points for scoring, and the red team's going to lose a point. from whatever their total is. So as the game goes on, it becomes strategic as to who you want to try to score against, and also how many guys you want to be, guarding your zone. With the idea of they're going to be more, both teams are going to be trying to gunning for you. So that's basically how it works. That's all I've got so far. But let's just try a bit. I don't have a score sheet here. Actually, I do. I got something I can write on. Could you throw me a pencil or something? We won't play. I don't even know what a full game of this is. I think it's more fun to play like a timed game where you play a certain number of minutes or possessions. But it seems to play easier if you played to a point total, like you played to 21. So we'll play to 21 here. So red, yellow, and blue. All right, and we're going to go with this lineup here. And I'm going to make decisions on the fly, and they may not be the right decisions, but we'll just see. All right, so we're going to have a jump ball in the center, and we're going to check for skill. Looks like red has 2, and they're going to win it because blue has 1 and yellow has 1. So red has the ball, and they can now do something with it. So they'll go ahead and try to lunge into the blue zone. How about? And we roll for smart. They've got 2 versus 1, so that is going to be they're going to score. So they get 7 points, and the blue team loses 1. So I thought about, well, maybe you can't go below 0, but let's say you can. All right, so now we have so after every score, the teams can redeploy their players. They can move guys from one zone to the other. They can decide how many guys they want to have guarding. So we'll say the red is pretty happy with that. They're going to move this guy back into their defense zone, and we'll do it now. We'll do another jump ball, and we get a 3, which is skill. That looks like that is going to be a 3-way tie. So in a 3-way tie, we roll just because each of them has 1 skill. So 1, 2, 3. So blue's going to get it. So blue has the ball, and let's say what'll they do? Both teams have 2 players in the zone. So let's go ahead and have them throw it in against the red team. I'm going to throw against the red team, and so he's going to need a 3 or a 4 to make it, and to get a 1. So that is a miss. There's no penalty for missing. The red team, though, gets possession. And again, I'm deciding, should they have to now move it out of their zone, or can they just throw from there into another zone? The way I've been playing it in my test play is he can just go and it just moves into the zone. So now the ball goes to this guy in the zone, and he'll go ahead and throw it into the blue zone again. And because there's only one guy there, and he scores. So that is a 4-point goal for red. So red's got 11 now. Yellow is 0. Blue is -1. All right. So the yellow guys and the blue guys are hoping to.
Blue lose another point for getting.
Oh yeah, and blue does lose another point. So blue's at -2. So blue. So it's like, well, what should blue do at this point? They're way behind. They got to stop red. How do we stop them? Probably, you'd put another guy in here, but then they've got the advantage. Red's got the advantage. But let's just go ahead and go like this. So red's up 11 to 0 to -2, and we've got a 1. It's going to go for the team of the smart. That will be either red or yellow, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's going to go to yellow. So yellow is obviously going to want to try to score against the red team. Let's have them try to. And they're the weakest team, so there's really no way they're going to get it on a lunge unless they roll a 4. So let's just try to shoot it in there, and they score. I would roll a 4. You should have lunged. Would have gotten 7. So they get 4 though. So 4 for yellow, and red goes down to 10. So it's 10 to 4 to -2. And now we can reset again. I think everybody's pretty happy the way it is, though. So let's do it again. All right, so 3, that will go to skill. And again, it'll be red or yellow. And again, it's yellow. Shooting again into the red zone. And they score again. So now it's 8. And red goes down to 9. So you can see things can kind of change fairly quickly. Blues can't get a break here, though. All right, so now the yellow team doing pretty well. I don't know that they really want to make any changes, but just for fun, let's go ahead and put all 3 of their guys in the zone, and they're just going to concede. Let's just see what happens. So 2, we're looking for spark. Okay, that's going to be, he's got triple spark, so blue's got the ball. Obviously, you don't want to try to go here. Let's try to shoot against the red. Maybe they could lunge. If we rolled a 2 or a 4, he's going to score on a lunge. That's 50-50. We're going to do that. And we got a 1, so he doesn't score. So he fails. Red takes over, and so red can now. I guess they'll try to shoot into the yellow zone. They'll throw it into the blue zone because it's better odds, and they don't make it. So now blue's got the ball. Blue can move it into Frank, and he'll try to run it. Let's have him try to run it in. Got a 3, which is skill, and that will fail. So it's a failed run for blue, and red takes over. Yeah, let's have red. Let's have red shoot for the yellow zone. And 3 is going to fail because they got 3 guys in there. So yellow gets the ball now, and yellow's going to try to run it into the red zone with a 3. That is skill. But they don't have anybody out there, do they? So they'd have to move somebody out. Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess they would probably move somebody out there in order to do that. And they would still fail on that one. So the red would get it. And red is now going to shoot into the yellow zone. They'll run into the yellow zone. And we're looking for skill. And they're going to win that, so that is 7 for the red. They've got 16. All right, so basically that's kind of how it works. If we were playing at 21, red would be up 16-8. Blue is at -2. I feel like there's a core of coolness to this. Obviously, it still needs quite a bit of work. But the idea of a game where you have 3 teams instead of 2, and they're kind of competing against each other, and you could have at the end of you could keep statistics, and the standings would be interesting too, because you'd have wins and losses and neither in the middle where you finished second place, runner up. So that is triple ball so far. And again, if you have thoughts on this, please do share them. We'd love to hear from you. All right, we have one more to show you, then we'll call it a night. Again, like I said, it's not going to be a long stream tonight.
30 minutes already.
We're at 30 minutes. Oh, okay. Wow, it's a fast 30 minutes. Time flies when you're having fun. Isn't that true? I swear that I am going to put out a game on Play Now with D4s at some point. We have to have a game with D4s. All right, so this is a game that actually many of you have already seen as... All right, let me just get this out here. So a couple years ago, 3 years ago, maybe it was 2, when we first went to Dice Tower, we made these little business card games. And we put them in a little cello bag with some dice in it, and here's the instructions. We call this one Rugby 6. Really loosely, very loosely rugby, but it has a little game board here. And this is the entire rule set right here. So I'll just read you the rules. So anyway, so what I like this game. I play this game a lot. It's purely a game. There's no individual player abilities or anything with this game. It's a dice, almost kind of a dice placement game, but it has kind of a sports theme to it. And I thought it would be neat to reskin this as a different sport, since it's really not rugby, but what is it? So I thought, why don't we call it, I was thinking about it's kind of similar to roller derby in that it's not necessarily played with a ball. So I thought maybe I could call it like tackle derby. No, that doesn't sound right. So, but then I thought, what's like a derby? Well, there's a spelling bee. So maybe it's a bee. So I'm calling this tackle bee. And I'm going to bring the board out here. Basically, this is the same board, but it's much bigger. And we got these little team-colored pawns here. And here's our dice. That should be fairly well centered. So I've got the orientation this way instead of this way. If we're playing head-to-head, you'd be sitting there, and I would be sitting here. But since we're playing it solo, I'm going to set the board like this. I'm just going to read you the instructions from our business card game. That's the most succinct, concise way to explain how this game works. Each player chooses a colored die, or in this case, we're going to choose a token. We'll do yellow versus. How about yellow versus green? Let's do blue versus green. Blue versus green. The first player places his die in any of the red squares on his side of the field. This is like, we call this the hive. This is the home team's hive. To move the ball, you're going to roll the 2 dice. The number on the die represents the spaces to be moved, with a 6 being read as a 0. So this would be 3 and 0. So when the movement rules are as follows. Movement is both forward and lateral. Forward or lateral, but never backwards. You can never move backwards. You must assign 1 die for both forward and lateral. So you can't. If I rolled this, I can't move 3 lateral and 2 lateral. 1 has to be forward, 1 has to be lateral. So I could go 2 and 3, or 3 and 2, or 3 and 2. I have lots of options, but I have to move. One of the die has to be forward. One of the die has to be lateral. You continue to move until you're ready to make a try. So making a try means you're going to dive into the opponent's hive. And it's essentially the same procedure. You've got to roll these 2 dice, and the result has to put you in one of these red squares. So if I'm here and I roll a 2 and a 3, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, boom, I just scored. And I get, depending on where I score from, that's how many points I get. If I score from the gray squares here, let me get this out of here. If I'm scoring from this zone here, it's 3 points. If I score from this line here, this first line here, going this way, this is 6 points. So in other words, if I get a 5 and a 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, boom, that's a 6 point try. If I try from here, which is actually in the opponent's territory, this is a 12-point try from here. And again, you'd need to get a 5 in order to get in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you'd still have to also have a lateral move that put you in there. So those are your options as you move closer. Now, there's one other twist to it. Okay. So just going by the rules here, just so I don't forget anything, you must announce that you're making a try. You can't just roll your dice and say, "Oh, I guess I'll take a try." So when you're in position, whether it's here, anywhere, you announce that you're making a try. Then you roll the 2 dice for the movement. If you wind up in the red zone, then you score the points as I just explained. Now, if at any time, so if your try passes through the red spaces but doesn't land in it, you get a point. That's a single point for that. It has to pass through the red spaces. So if you get like a 4-4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're going to wind up here. So actually, that wouldn't be. A 4-4 would not score from there. A 4-2 or like a 5-2 would. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As long as it passes through the red squares, you will get a single point. If you land there, you get the points from whatever zone you're at. Your turn continues until you made a try. Unless you roll double sixes is double zeros. That's considered a turnover. Or if you make a die roll where you can't stay on the grid, that also is considered a turnover. And the only other rule to this is that you can roll. If you roll doubles, then the point value of your try will be doubled, and you can roll multiple doubles. So if I roll double 2s here, and let's say I roll double 2s again to get here. Now I've just doubled my score twice. This would be 3 times 2 times 2. That'd be 3, 6. That'd be a 12-point try from here, doubled twice. Okay, so let's show you how it works here real quick. So this game, with the business card mode, had no individual teams, no individual players. It's just you against me playing this game. But I thought, what if you could have like special teams with special abilities. Ideally, it'd be cool to have individual players for this, because I'm seeing this as a game where you got 2 or 3, like 3 or 4 players on a side. One of them is the scorer, like wears the jamming helmet, like in roller derby. They're the we'll call them the beeliner. They're the one that's going to try to make the dive. The others are kind of blocking and trying to clear a path so that when the beeliner raises his hand and starts moving for the zone, they're in position to block and that person can score. It would be cool to have individual abilities for this game. But there's really not any room on the board for it. So instead, I came up with this idea to have like team cards for it. So that's really the idea I want to try out here tonight. So we'll have Chicago play Boston. How about? And each of these teams has a special ability based on their card. So Chicago will have a turnover on any combo that adds up to 7. That means they're kind of a bad team. They're going to about a 20% chance of a turnover. Boston, they can read whenever they get roll a 5. They can read it as either a 5 or a 1. So that will be good for movement if they want to get some more doubles and move slower. So let's just do a 3-possession game and see who wins, and then we'll call it a night. So we'll let Boston get it first. They've got the green, and Chicago will be the red. And we'll start here. So Boston, we roll a 1 and a 5. Oh, good. So the 5 getting read is 1-1, and they'll do that. They'll get doubles. So 1 and 1. So they've already got 1 doubles. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So if they were to try a 12-point shot, that'd be a 24-point shot, a 24-point try from here. Let's go ahead and do it. Put this game away early, right? They're going to need a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Boom. 24 points for Boston. They start out big. All right, Chicago gets their turn. We'll start them here. And again, turnover on any combo that adds up to 7. There's this 4-2. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2. They're probably going to want to try a 12-point shot themselves. It's not doubled because they didn't get doubles, but they obviously have to catch up in a hurry, so they'll try it. And a 4 and a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. So Boston will take over here. They'll try to move them as far away as they can. All right, so no points for Chicago on their first. Now here's Boston's second. And we got 2, and that's a 0. So they can move up 2. And a 1 and a 3. 1. 1, 2, 3. Let's try to get more in position here. And 4 and 3. That would be a turnover for Chicago. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And they'll go for their try right here. It's only a 3-point try. So 2 and 4. I think they're going to make it. 1, 2. No, they're not. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So they'll have to do it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. They'll have to take a 1 point. They'll only get 1 point out of it. So they get 25. Chicago's second opportunity. And we got a 6. Well, it's doubles. That's good. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So they've got double. They got to try to ramp up the score by getting doubles, but not roll a 7. There's doubles again. 1, 2, 3. But now they're into the 3-point zone. It's going to be doubles. It'd be a 12-point shot, but I think they really want to try to get one more doubles. This is where it's like, okay, do I want to keep rolling? If I get a 7, it's over. Let's just take the shot right now. It's a 12-point shot with 2 doubles. They're gonna do it. So 3 and 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Boom. The try is good, and 12 points for Chicago. So 25-12. Boston gets their last. And normally this would be a 6-period game, a 6-possession game, but we'll only play 3. Play to halftime. So Boston goes first, takes their third possession. So they can read that 5 as a 1. They'll read it as a 1, and hopefully it get some more movement, some more doubles. So 1 and 1, 2, 3. And doubles. There we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. So they got 1 set of doubles. 4 and 0. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, 2 and 1, because that 5 can be read as a 1. 1, 2, and 1. They're in the 12-point zone. They'd be a 24-point shot. It's a low percentage. They're going to try to put the game away by getting something, maybe 6 or maybe 3. That's doubles, 4 and 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to get doubled twice. So this will be a 12-point shot from here. And they'll go ahead and take it. Oh, but all right, so those 5s can be read as 1s. 1, 1. That's a 12-point goal for Boston. 37-12. And this is Chicago's last chance. Obviously, they want to get to the 12, shoot for the, try, make their try. I say shoot, they're really not throwing anything. They're announcing their try from that distance, and they've got further to go to get there. So they're going to have to try to get to the 12-point line here. 4 and 0. Let's go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's doubles. 1, 2. 1, 2. So they got 1 doubles. They need a bunch of doubles. There's 2. We'll keep going this way. Keep going this way. Keep going. Now keep going. The same thing. We'll go this way. 2 and 4. All right, so we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now they're in the 12 point. They really can't take the shot here. Well, I guess it would be a 24-point shot. They would still lose by 1 though. So they've got to get another. They got to get another double somehow. 1 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's 7, so they're going to turn it over. So they're going to get nothing. Well, they had a chance to get the big points, but that 1 point that Boston got on the flow through actually won them the game or preserved the game for them. So 37-12 is our halftime / final score as we show you tackle B. So again, if you have thoughts on that, let me know. I've played this. We've had this game for a couple years now, and I get it out every once in a while and play it because I think it's interesting. It's got a lot of agency, a lot of decision making. There's it's a push your luck type of thing in some ways, but also sort of a dice placement thing. And let me know what you think. If you have any ideas for how to specifically maybe some ideas on interesting team ratings that would make for some cool competition. Anyway, that's our show for tonight. As always, we welcome your thoughts. Maybe you thought of something while watching that would work great for the game, or maybe you thought of a new game idea. Just let us know. We're always happy to hear from you. The email address is info@play.com. Next week, we'll be gearing up for the release of Highlight Maker Hoops Prime Time. It'll be released a week from tomorrow. And on the night before the release, I thought I would go over the final minute mode, which is different than the final minute mode for the highlights game. We'll run several final minutes so you can get the hang of it using various pro teams. So join us for that next Thursday evening. I believe Steve Tower on the AFR channel is going to do a Highlight Maker Hoops primetime demo tomorrow night. Check your local listings. He might even be in the chat room. If he is, he can maybe jump in there and give a plug for it. But yes, that'll be happening tomorrow night on the AFR channel. And then we'll do the final minute mode for our show next Thursday night. And finally, the Hoops game, the full play mode of the Hoops game will be available for all to enjoy. Until then, thanks a lot for watching tonight. We really appreciate it. Thank you for hanging with us and for being so encouraging and so supportive. We certainly do appreciate it each and every day. Have a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day. Enjoy some downtime. And we'll plan on seeing you here next Thursday night on the Play Games YouTube channel.